well for the Eagles and Carson Wentz. As you said, Wentz has been inconsistent all year long. He's been playing behind a revolving door of offensive linemen, and he's been suffering with a ton of injuries on that offense. The one thing this Eagles team does have going for it, though, is its defensive run and that incredibly aggressive pass rush. Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski couldn't say enough about how difficult that group is to face. And when I talked to Browns center J.C. Tretter, he said it's the way they are constantly rolling fresh bodies. So today, if the Eagles are hoping to do anything in this weather, it certainly will be trying to slow down the Browns' run game and definitely trying to get to Baker Mayfield. Now let's go to Minneapolis and Tom Pelissero.
Aditi, the Cowboys kept two of their pass rushers home for part of this week as a precaution. Randy Gregory was dealing with a chest cold. DeMarcus Lawrence had flu-like symptoms. I am told both players passed all their COVID tests. So as long as they feel good today, they are good to go against the Vikings. That's important for a Dallas defense that really has improved over the past 3 games. And now will have its hands full today against MVP candidate Dalvin Cook and a surging Minnesota offense. The Cowboys actually gained ground in the division during their bye week, thanks to the Giants' win over the Eagles. At 2-7, Dallas is just 1 game back in the win column of first place in the always entertaining NFC East.
Now avert the eyes of your children. NFC East is not pretty.
Jones is going to run it. And he stumbles and he falls down in the tackle. The turf monster got him.
For the first time, the Cowboys have gone consecutive games without a touchdown of any kind.
That is picked off. 5th turnover of the game.
Seems like it's always something, right?
And the NFC East continues to perplex. One team will be in the NFL playoffs at the end of the season. You know that's going to happen.
I mean, it is easy. It's low-hanging fruit. The fruit's hanging very, very low. I mean, think about it. The Eagles are 3-5-1 in first place, and the hottest team in the division, isn't even on the team in the hunt. They're not even sniffing it, according to all of us, even though they're just a game out, because they're 3-7 behind a 3-5-1 team. Giants on a bye week, having won 2 in a row. Who's going to win this division when it's all said and done, Irv?
My mind strains on anything that says least. It's not how I'm built. I'm always built to go for the most and all of those things. But let me try this anyway, Rich. And you see, we've seen what the Cowboys have looked like over the last few weeks. And yes, they played a little bit better in that last game, but now they go back to Andy Dalton. Let's see what COVID and all of that effects it has on Andy. We've seen what's going on in Philly. We just talked about Carson Wentz, and we'll be talking about them all day and the issues and problems they're having there. But the Giants, guys, the Giants, and I know the Giants have a tough schedule coming up, but the Giants have continuously ticked up each week, playing better and better, learning more and more about the system that they are in, and Coach Judd learning more and more about his team. I hate to say I'm taking the Giants as a favorite with that tough schedule they have, but here I want to give them some credit for playing hard and ticking up every week while everybody else has been up and down.
Well, they lost that game in which, we know Dak went out for the year. They were up in the 4th quarter in that one. They had one against the Eagles that went off of Evan Ingram's hands. They could be 7-3 if some things went the other way. So I'm with you there, Michael Irvin. Changes today. It's hour 2 of NFL Game Day Morning, presented by Lowe's. We put the home in home team. We, meaning me and Steve Mariucci right here in studio, Kurt and Michael Irvin in their home positions for this edition of NFL Game Day Morning, taking you to 7 early Week 11 kickoff games. And we've got all 4 guys here to kick off hour number 2 of this show with the hot topic in the NFL that burst onto the scene just Friday when it came out of New Orleans that Sean Payton's going to go with Taysom Hill instead of Jameis Winston. Is this the right decision, Steve Mariucci?
Yeah, there's been a lot of discussions. Like Jameis Winston threw for 5,000 yards last year, and Taysom Hill really hasn't. But the coaches know he's been there for 4 years. He knows this system very well. He's ready, they feel. Let me show you what it's going to look like here, okay? This is what he does. When he's quarterback, all right? They're going to run a little quarterback power, pull the backside guard, Andrews Pete from Stanford, and away we go. Kick out with the fullback. That's Alvin Kamara out here playing wide receiver. He's going to stock block here. Everybody's going to stock block because we're going to run the football with this guy. He's a heck of a runner. All right, you have to put him back in the pocket sometimes, right, Rich? And throw the ball. He's only got 5 attempts all year. He completed 4 of them. That's 80% completion. Here's one to Jared Cook. He threw for a lot of yards at BYU. And then when he does go back and nothing is there, this is what happens with athletic quarterbacks sometimes. Hey, I don't see anything open. I don't have a check down. You know what? My legs are the check down. I'm going to take off. Here I go. And he's a big, strong guy. It looks like Edwin Moses here, hurtling over that guy. So you're going to see a bunch of that. So they're going to have to make a decision. Do they take him off the punt team? He's personal protector on the punt team, or do they leave him in there and be able to shift into an offensive set? It's going to be a lot of fun to watch this guy.
Well, Coach, did you answer that question? Was that a yes? Was that a no?
No.
You mentioned that he's been there for a long time.
That was a yes. Let's go, Taysom Hill.
Okay, that was a yes. All right. He's been there for a long time, and he knows the offense. The question I have is, can he run the offense that they run with Drew Brees? You know, Rich and I talked about it earlier. That's my question, is that we haven't really seen Taysom Hill in that role where he has to drop back, read the coverages, decipher what's going on, and make the right read and the right throw. Most of the throws that he's made have been what Michael calls those gadget plays off of the run fakes and what he does, you know, in more of a wildcat role. And then they try to make big plays off of that. Not conventional football. So I'm not sure this is the right decision. I'm not sure they can shape their offense around Taysom Hill in this short of period of time. But as Coach said, I'm excited to see it. This guy has done a lot of great things in this league, earned the right to have a chance to start. And I'm interested to see what it looks like today, Michael.
Yeah, Kurt, you're right. He's played well every time he has chance to play, so he's earned that right. Now, but I'm also, as the receiver, I'm going to speak for Michael Thomas. I know he's earned the right, but what about me? I'm back now, and Alvin Kamara, what about me? I'm back now. So the question to me, did they make the right move? I'm going to say no. I watched Jameis Winston. I know everybody talk about what happened in Tampa, but I keep telling people in Tampa that no risk it, no biscuit. It plays football long to short, and Jameis kept trying to put the ball down the field. He didn't lead the league with 5,000 yards, but he had those 30 interceptions. Now he's playing short to long, and that's what they do with the Saints. He hit his first 6 passes. They were short passes last week when he came in the game, and I thought, wow, that's something to build on. Now if he gets everybody to move up, he can use that big arm to go by people. So I thought Jameis Winston would be the right call. The man has thrown for over 19,000 yards in this NFL. And he's played twice a year against these Atlanta Falcons, Kurt, when you talk about reading defenses. He understands what they like to try to do and the tendencies. He played them twice a year. So I definitely think that this was not the right move. And I'm speaking for Michael Thomas probably and Alvin Kamara. And we'll see what that looks like in about the second quarter if they don't have enough passes.
Well, and it's a rivalry game, too. The Saints and the Falcons, to use the old Keith Jackson phrase, plain don't like each other. And it's going to be quite a game to see Taysom Hill thrown in his first career start. Question for you, Ian. We know that it's been an interesting 24 hours on the Drew Brees news front. And he was placed on injury reserve, so that means at least 3 games. What can you tell us about Brees' status?
Right, the original plan, Rich, was for Drew Brees to be out 2 games. That was what he thought. That was what he was telling people. 2 games, return after a 3rd game. Then, earlier in the week, the Saints placed him on injury reserve, which means he is now out 3 games. He's dealing with many fractured ribs. He's also dealing with a puncture in his lung that is actually rapidly improving. My understanding is he could actually be out as much as 4 weeks. In fact, the realistic timetable for Drew Brees to come back, the realistic target is week 15 against the Kansas City Chiefs. That would be mid-December. It would mean he misses 4 games. It also means he gets a couple games to get back out there and get his feet under him before the playoffs. Remember, he's not just dealing with the rib and lung. He's also got